But by way of the breadth of companies he serves, I gave it validity. So that's what I'm sharing with you. But there are companies out there that are growing faster in the current climate than certainly others. I have a client that's in, we could call it technology, but it's technology that serves the event marketing space. And what have happened to major corporate and association events in the last 4 years? Right? He grew by 35% last year. In 2010, he grew by 35%. He's intending to grow by equal amount this year. What's he doing differently? He continued to invest in human resources, but not just by adding, by shifting. He took a look at his skill set. We looked at the organization and said, you know what? Based on where we have to go, we don't have the right skills. So we had the opportunity to start changing out skills so that we aligned better with what he needed to do in his space to be successful in event marketing. He added more products. He didn't stop product development during this time. He's doing things that he didn't do what his competitors did, which was to shrink down, terminate a bunch of people, and halt all discretionary spend. But he did something different. I hope that helped. Okay. Questions, doubts?
You know, most people here are small independent retailers who run their own shops. So can you share something that we could take with us today that would help us change something in our shops tomorrow?
Sure. By no surprise, I'm going to go back to the beginning of the presentation. Not enough of you raised your hand when I asked, did you create personal goals or business goals? Now, maybe you were just shy, right? I get that. I get that. But go back and ask yourselves, are these goals really bold goals? Were these goals based on stretching myself in the organization? Right? It starts with setting your reticular activating system. It really, really does. Once you've identified your goals or the haves, the most powerful formula for me is the be, do, have. Because if you take each one of those seriously, you will, as a result, do something different. If you take each one of those seriously, you will do something different. So I know it sounds sort of vague, but it's not. It's go back and really identify some bold goals. Right? And then identify, well, what do we got to do? And really explore, what do we have to do different? I mean, what could we be doing different? And if you think you've run out of ideas, go ask somebody. Ask somebody, what do you think we could be doing different?
You mean just anybody, or do you?
No, someone, a trusted advisor. Right.
What do you think we should be doing?
I wouldn't have it. Don't run across the street to the Caribou and just, hey, I'm in this massage business. You might get some pretty strange ideas. Well, but you never know. No, you know what I mean? Look, I don't want this to be self-serving and say you should call up a coach. I don't want it to be that. But a trusted advisor who you can have a conversation with and say, just if you were a consumer of my business, this is something else that was pretty interesting. I was sitting with a web developer the other day, and we're cooperating on building a website for a networking group. And it's going to be serve two purposes. One, we want to promote the networking group, and so we bring on more members. Number two, we want to promote the businesses in the networking group. So it really makes more complicated one of the notions like search engine optimization. I mean, can you imagine putting words on that site that will serve equally or at least adequately all the businesses plus what the site does? And so we said, what's the best way for us to do that? Oh, well, let's go to each business owner and say, what SEO, what keywords should we put on the site for you? And we concluded, no, that's not right. That's not right. Because mostly it's lay people who are going to Google, typing in words that they think are meaningful. Let's not go to the business owner. Let's go to advocates and consumers of that business and say, how would you Google that business? We want those words on the site. We added 400 words. I'm sorry, 400 words. 400%. That's the number I want you to remember. We added 100 new words. Clicks increased by 400%. by getting lay people and consumers involved. So, go to consumers. What do you think I could be doing different? If you have some, you've heard me talk about A and B clients. We really urge you to grade your clients. If you want more A clients, you have to know why A clients buy from you. If you want more B clients, talk to your B clients. Really understand what their wants are, not their needs initially, but what their wants are and what they want to avoid. Remember the big 4 questions, guys? Right? So if you really understand those 2 things, right? If you really understand those 2 things, and you start to market to A's and B's, you'll get more A's and B's. The essence of that was, if you're looking for ideas about what you can do different, talk to your A and B clients. Or talk to a trusted advisor, or talk to a coach. But first set the goal, then identify what dues could we change. When you analyze what the dues could change, then you go to your B. Because we can't be totally effective on the new dues unless we change our cash. Sorry to pick on my presentation, but does that make sense? That all of those be linked? And that's doable. The toughest thing for all of us who run our own businesses is what? Finding time to work on our business as opposed to serving people on the floor, manning the cash register, doing the books, trying to think of what the next creative marketing campaign might look like. And they all tend to look like the last one a little bit. Right? So, I hope that was helpful. It was my best, cleanest answer for you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. It was our way of getting all of our brains porous to new ideas, because program 2, 3, 4, and 5, some of it we're going to repeat streetwise marketing, because that's something that just has to be repeated.
Social media as well.
We're going to do social media again. We're going to do one on key performance indicators, which is really how to get at meaningful numbers in your business.
And time management.
Was that the other? And time management. The one about key performance indicators and getting meaningful measurements in your business, I don't know if you're familiar with this notion of what's my economic engine. It's what is it? What's the unit in my business that is really a driver in my business? And here's a little tip for you. A driver in your business is a cost that drives income. And if it's only a cost, it's not a driver in your business. And so we identify what those units are. Sometimes it's labor hours. Sometimes it's a transaction. Right? And so, because labor hours is cost, well, how much income does that labor hour actually generate? That's a driver. That could be a driver. Right? So we're going to identify key drivers in your business that represent cost and income, and that's what you want to measure. Because you want to get the most out of every cost by way of what it generates. Does that make sense? Okay. So I'm not sure where that is in the series, but hopefully that'll be interesting to you. And who knows, maybe there's going to be something that you'd like us to take a side track on, and we'll build something special for that, and we'll treat that. I know unique selling proposition is something that we're going to be focusing on at our next growth club. I should say my general growth club. Can I pitch that just for half a second?
Absolutely.
Growth Club is March 30th. If you're interested, there's a flyer, and I'll leave it at that.
I just want to say one thing. I want to thank you two, because at one of the meetings on social media, you talked about Facebook. I knew nothing about it. And after that meeting, I was so excited to get on Facebook. And thanks to you two, and Casey helped me set up my Facebook. And it's growing, and I love it. And it's so exciting to have your business have a Facebook. And if I wasn't at that meeting that day, I would still be sitting, without my Facebook. So thank you.
Now you ought to do a session on Facebook addiction.
Yeah, right. Well, I have your sign from how impressive Addicted to Facebook.
Addicted to Facebook.
We will retool the social media presentation. We're going to scale it down a little bit and just make it about, as MJ said, I think, and that's a very well-made point. We want to have things that you can actually take away and say, all right, I'm going to put this in the business and not get as much not get it as theoretical, because I know that presentation that we did, and we took another look at that social media